What's happening, world? Jules Julien here, and welcome everyone everywhere at Soldier to Veteran. Before I begin, I just want to say, guys and girls, massive thank you to everyone that's helping out. For those of you that might not know, I've started a book called The 10 Pillars of Fulfillment, which is to help people with mental health and help them increase their levels of happiness and fulfillment in their lives. So if you want to, check the link, click the link, that will explain everything there is to know about the project. So yeah, here at Soldier to Veteran, everything that you want to know about life as a soldier and a veteran. A little bit about myself. I've done 8 years as a soldier in an infantry regiment. I also was a PTI, physical training instructor, which I've transferred my skills into civilian life, and now I do outdoor physical training boot camps. Also prior, I've done 2 tours of Afghanistan, Herrick 11 and Herrick 16. So there's not a lot about soldiering that I don't know. The thing that got me starting to talk about soldier to veteran and the whole ins and outs was when I became a civilian, I was noticing that my mental health was at stake. I felt alone, to be brutally honest. I felt like I was in a world that no one really knew what we went through other than each other. You know, we were all part of it, other soldiers and other veterans, and I only found comfort in talking to those. So I thought I'm going to create a channel and a place that other soldiers and veterans can tune into and reminisce and feel like they've got something that keeps them ticking over, because the mental health of a soldier is fragile. We've been exposed to a lot of stuff. To try and talk it out with a civilian, it just doesn't really resonate the same. And that's where I started to get to work with the 10 Pillars of Fulfillment book, which is a tool that I use to get myself out of a dark place in depression and PTSD. And I just want to share it with the rest, because I get a lot of friends posting about soldiers committing suicide and people taking their lives, even these celebrities that are finding it a bit of a struggle now. And mental health is so important. We all get it. We're all understanding of it now. And therefore, yeah, that's the aim. That's the goal. So I create this channel to not only help the soldiers and veterans, but also their families and their friends and anyone generally interested. So I've got an announcement to make. Quick announcement. We are on podcasts now. Launched a podcast earlier this week for Soldier to Veteran, and it feels good. It finally feels good, because you know what? I've realized there's a lot of people that want to tune in. However, they can't keep going onto the YouTube and they can't keep going onto the Instagram because it, runs up their data. So tuning into a podcast, especially when you have the time, some people commute to work 20 minutes, either in the gym or wherever, and they want to listen to into a podcast. Well, there you go. Soldier to Veteran podcast. We're on all of the podcast channels. So just check us out. Look for us, Soldier to Veteran, and we'll be there. Happy days. So let's get into Soldier to Veteran. Let's do a quick recap. Last week, we talked about desensitization. If you haven't done so, check out that video all about desensitization and what it was we were exposed to. You must understand, when you're exposed to things regularly that isn't really normal, when you come back to normal society, trying to integrate back into normal society, your levels of normal compared to a normal civilian's levels of normal, you'll realize that the way we think isn't normal. It used to be in the army at war. However, in real life, it's not. And that's okay. Just piece by piece it together and learn. Tonight, what I want to talk about is this new hashtag that me and a friend have put together called Just Checking In. Hashtag Just Checking In. What we believe this is going to do is help people to remember that you're not alone. Don't suffer in silence. I get phone calls, I get messages from people a lot, and I hear their stories, and I just think, Jesus, I'm so glad you called. You shouldn't suffer alone. And I always share stories, because when you share the stories, people can relate better. They fully understand that, damn, I thought I was the only one. You're not. Believe me, you're not. There are so many people out there that are probably going through the same struggles as you, if not worse, and they know the coping mechanisms. They know where to go. I had a friend, he called me up the other day. He told me, Jules, this is happening, that's happening, and that's happening, that's happening. I said to him, mate, I'm really sorry. I'm not a counselor. I am your friend. I messaged him, how you going, mate? Hashtag just checking in. However, there are people out there. I directed him to the Samaritans. Everyone knows these guys exist, but I don't think a lot of people openly say that they've used them. So I will. I have used them. There's been moments in my life when I didn't know where to go, and I didn't want to go to friends because I felt like a burden. I didn't want to go to my family because I felt almost ashamed, like I didn't have all my shit together. I just thought, I need someone to talk to. I need to get it off my chest. I need to unload. And I called them. I called the Samaritans, and it's remarkable. The person I spoke to, it made me feel, at the start, really awkward. It felt really weird talking to a complete stranger and telling them all my problems and issues. Like, I expected them to know the answer. And I just realized, I was like, I even apologized on the call. I said to the guy, I'm really sorry, mate. I'm just telling you. He goes, no, that's what we're here for. Yeah, we must have spoke for about a good 30 minutes. And you know what? It was just so good to just get it off your chest, but not just like to yourself. Don't get caught. I love this saying. I say it a lot now. Don't get caught in the midst of your own thoughts, because you'll always revert to the easiest route versus the things you want to hear versus what you think other people are saying or other people are thinking. And you conjure in your head this whole imaginary facade, and it's not true. So speaking to someone else gives you that recovery. You unload and then they feedback, and then from that creates dialogue for success. How are you going to move forward? Them sort of questions there. And that's why calling people like the Samaritans or hashtag just checking in with a friend is so important. It really does change our perspective. It really does save a life as well. I'll tell you a story. Earlier this week, soldier to veteran, I messaged an old friend. I said to him, how you getting on? How you doing? And he messaged back saying, yeah, man, I ain't heard from you in ages. And I know, right? I bridged the gap. Hashtag just checking in. And later on that night, believe it or not, I flipping see him. It was in Essex Basildon boxing fight. I went there and I didn't even know he was going there. He didn't even know I was going there. I look over, man's walking up the stairs. I reached out and I said, yo, it's crazy. And that there is I can't even explain how it works. It's like, I don't know, fate or energy, attraction, law of attraction, who knows? However, I ain't messaged this guy in months. That specific day, I messaged him. And then that night, I see him. Now, this is the powerful thing. You ever get that feeling sometimes when you're thinking of someone and then they call you? Or some people even go as far as, oh my God, I dreamt about you. What I'm getting at is hashtag just checking in. Powerful, really powerful. Your friends, don't ever forget that. You are friends. That person that you know you should message, drop them a message. Check your brother, check your sister, make sure they're cool. The reason why I'm talking about it tonight is because we used to live in very close quarters. I remember back in my early years, we lived in 8-man rooms. There was like 2 showers, 2 sinks, and we all shared and we all lived together, and it worked because when in times of war and you're working together, living together, it's not alien to you. Even when we changed the accommodation from 8-man rooms to single-man rooms, the doors were never closed. They were left open. I remember FIFA online, however, it'd be all in the same room, have little competitions, little tournaments and stuff like that. We'd be very close knit. We even had block parties, barbecues in the summer. Community, we had that. And then obviously promotion, you get the mess dues. What I'm getting at is when you become a civilian, it's few and far between. You have to create it and you have to find like-minded people that think the same and understand the value. Now, I was saying this earlier in my 10 Pillars of Fulfillment talk. I was explaining that the army embodied a lot of values. It was every pillar pretty much in one place, in one institution. And that's why I think a lot of veterans, when we get out, we struggle because we have to outsource these different pillars from different things. When I talk about suffering in silence, most soldiers and veterans, if you feel alone, you're not alone. There are other soldiers and veterans out there. I hear it all the time. What breaks my heart, and this is God's honest truth, what breaks my heart is when it's too late. We get the notification and then everyone feels like shit about it and everyone wants to post shit about it, but you ain't doing shit about it. It's not good enough just posting and telling the world your problems like that. It's not good enough sharing a post and thinking I've done my bit. No, you haven't done shit. All you did was highlight the fact that it exists. But what are we doing about it? So hashtag just checking in. Use that, write it down. One of the pages in my 10 Pillars of Fulfillment book, which if you haven't done so, check the link in the description. Go and check out the video, the GoFundMe explains everything. One of the pages in the book is the Road to Fulfillment. And what that is a weekly planner that you can write in to remind yourself what you're going to do that week to increase your levels of fulfillment. So you could use that same planner as 2 minutes to drop a message to a friend. Check in on your bros because you never know, you could save a life. And on that, I can ask you a massive favor. Tag someone in this video. Share this video with someone that you think is going to benefit a lot from it. If you know someone that you think could do with this video, share it. Share it with 2, share it with 3. You never know. And what's the worst that could happen? You send it to them, they watch it, nothing comes of it. So what? At least you sent it to them. A lot of people aren't ready to hear the message, yet never underestimate the power of planting a seed. So yeah, that right there. Please go and check out my podcast. I launched it the other day. I think it's going to be a much better way. Please follow, check it out and support it as always. I hope that soldiers and veterans out there, you are checking in with each other. I hope that not just soldiers and veterans, everybody, families, friends and other people, we live in quite tough times, especially now with everything going on with people getting scared, the uncertainty. No one knows. However, control what you can, never live in fear, but just take life seriously. I'm going to end it on there. Thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it. Everyone, everywhere. Jules Julien. Peace and love.